Hitting the reset button.
I'm granting the motion. We're going to start over.
On the Parkland shooters penalty trial. High-profile Americans in Ukraine.
They can win if they have the right equipment.
As train station attacks cripple evacuation routes. Under new management, Elon Musk set to take over Twitter. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Anya Joseph. Today's Tuesday, April 26, 2022.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Starting again, a mistake in the Parkland shooters jury selection leading to the judge calling for a do-over. Potential jurors were dismissed before completing their questioning. As the network's Christopher Gomez reports, there was a risk of mistrial later on if the judge did not act.
Well, then we're going to start over. So, as soon as the panel comes up, I'm granting the motion. We're going to start over.
The penalty phase for the convicted Parkland killer hit a snag on Monday. The judge scrapped a pool of 250 potential jurors and agreed to start the process over for now. Prosecutors asked for the do-over after a series of missteps. 11 potential jurors were dismissed in early April after they told the judge they couldn't follow the law. Defense attorneys argued they should have been given a chance to question those jurors. The 11 people were supposed to return Monday, but because of a miscommunication, they were never notified to come back to court. But defense attorneys don't want to lose that initial pool of 250.
We can clear this up now, Your Honor. A mistake was made. There was a miscommunication regarding getting these jurors back. We don't know whose fault it was. It was a miscommunication. There's no bad faith on anyone's part. We can clear this up. We've only lost 6 days of jury selection at this point, Your Honor.
The judge told defense attorneys they can make their legal arguments on Wednesday and that she could possibly change her mind. The judge said she expects the trial to start the third week of June. Reporting for the South Florida Media Network, I'm Christopher Gomez.
A vital escape route for Ukrainian civilians falls under attack. As CNN's Gloria Pazmino reports, the train station attacks happened one day after an unannounced visit by President Biden's cabinet.
Russian forces are aiming at one of the few ways out of war-torn Ukraine. The state railway company said 5 train stations were struck in central and western Ukraine Monday, resulting in casualties. The railway attack comes just a day after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin made an unannounced visit to the region.
We believe that they can win if they have the right equipment, the right support.
They are the highest level U.S. officials to visit Ukraine since the invasion began. Blinken said other U.S. diplomats will return later this week and praised Ukraine for standing strong against attacks in some parts of the country.
Russia continues to try to brutalize parts of the country, and the death and destruction that we continue to see is horrific. But Ukrainians are standing up. They're standing strong.
Meanwhile, there seems to be no reprieve for the besieged city of Mariupol, where a steel plant continues to be a significant holdout site for Ukrainian forces and civilians taking shelter. Video released by the Azov Regiment this Sunday reportedly shows women and children in a bunker at the steel plant.
On behalf of all the people of Mariupol, I urge the world, help us. We want to live.
I'm Gloria Pazmino reporting.
Criticism this morning from the foreign minister of Cuba directed at the U.S. Bruno Rodriguez held a news conference yesterday to complain that it is being excluded from an upcoming summit being hosted in the U.S. Later this year, Los Angeles is hosting the Summit of the Americas. Rodriguez wants to hear from the U.S. State Department whether it's in or out. A canned food recall this morning, and it involves a company based in South Florida. The FDA is reporting a recall because of a potential listeria contamination. The recalled products are 1-pound packages of Hippie Organics French beans. Listeria can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections. The company Alpine Fresh, which is located in Doral, voluntarily issued the recall. Stocks are up this morning on news that Elon Musk is buying Twitter. The deal is worth $44 billion. Less than a month ago, Musk revealed he had taken a more than 9% stake in the company. The deal will put the world's richest man in charge of one of the world's most influential social media platforms. A return to Earth for an all-civilian crew who got some bonus time in space. That's still ahead, and so is this story.
You know, if there's a little extra excitement around the White House today, it's probably because the cup is in the building.
The Stanley Cup takes a visit to the White House. Newsbreak will be back in just 2 minutes.
If a natural disaster shows up at your doorstep, you can't just turn it away. That's why it's important to prepare for emergencies before they show up. Go to ready.gov/plan to find the tools and tips you need. And make a plan today.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Weather-related departure delays are nothing new to air travelers. Now the first group of space travelers knows all about them too. 4 crew members of the first all-private mission to the International Space Station are back safe on Earth this morning. The SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule splashed down into the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Florida yesterday afternoon. The crew includes a former NASA astronaut, an Israeli businessman, a Canadian investor, and an Ohio real estate magnate. Their mission was scheduled for 10 days, but it dragged on a week longer than expected due to weather delays. Beating the first-place Florida Panthers was not the most exciting thing to happen to the Tampa Bay Lightning this week. That was actually yesterday when the back-to-back Stanley Cup champs got to visit the White House. It's an annual tradition for the winners of major American sports titles, and they brought with them the most famous trophy in U.S. sports.
You know, if there's a little extra excitement around the White House today, it's probably because the cup is in the building. And we're here today to congratulate and welcome to the White House the Stanley Cup champion, Tampa Bay Lightning.
The D.C. trip wasn't all fun for the Bolts. They lost to the Washington Capitals last night, 4-3. That's all the time we have for Newsbreak today. I'm Anya Joseph. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.